Hey everyone, welcome to Unshakable. What night are we? 373 or is it just 4?
It's just Thursday.
We had our first row yesterday.
We did.
In our self-isolation.
Do not argue. I was like, what have we done? We failed.
But there we go. We still love each other.
Yeah, you've had your row too?
Yeah, right with us as well.
Everything's normal. Today then we've got Josh and Josie Jury, who are our youth and kids pastors, and so we love all the work they've done, and we've been trying to get you behind the scenes a little bit. All of you that are watching, please do like and make sure you say hello and praise the Lord, amen, that kind of thing. We want you to do that, but we've been trying to get behind the scenes, and so we're going tonight with Josh and Josie, and what happened when they heard that everything was going on, shut down, and there was no youth being able to meet. So, welcome to you guys.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Now, tell us what happened then. You heard we were going on lockdown, we couldn't meet. Who communicated with you, and what were the first steps?
So I think Jamie was the first one.
Yeah.
Katie was the first one to come to us and tell us that we were going to go in lockdown, and that we had to prepare up to 10 weeks of content. So first feelings were like, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this? And then we had an all-staff meeting where we were kind of split into content and care. For kids and youth, we're in both areas, so we were just trying to not drop the ball and keep our both kind of agendas in both areas going, to make sure that they were both happening. And then next, we just discussed some of the things that we wanted our content to have. So Jamie focused in on we needed it to be fun. We wanted to bring fun to the situation that's going on at the moment, and make sure that we're helping people to still experience joy in the midst of what's going on. That it needed to be faith building. So yeah, faith over fear was our biggest catchphrase, I think, wasn't it? And that we wanted it to be like family. We wanted it to be like familiar faces and friendly faces and that kind of thing. So from those 3 points, we then kind of locked ourselves away for a day. We managed to do kind of sit and write the 10 weeks of stuff, contact a bunch of different people to kind of help pull us all in together and deliver all of the content. And for kids in particular, we did it in about 4 days, all of the filming. So it was go. It was nonstop, and the media department were just, absolutely fantastic. We could not have done it without them. So
Yeah, and then same kind of concept for youth. We kind of came over the idea of that faith over fear, and we got some friends involved kind of outside the church who maybe because of jobs were closed, stuff like that, they got a bit of free time. They came in and helped. We got 8 weeks of material for our Friday nights, our podcast chat show kind of vibes. We've got people from all aspects of life. We've got some of the staff. We've got Katie involved, and just kind of the idea to share kind of actually that you can have faith and peace in these times, even though we're like inside fearful and stuff like that, but we're also doing other stuff as well, which is really exciting. We're doing soaps every Wednesday, kind of Bible studies, thoughts from young people, from leaders, from people from the church, and just kind of giving them space to hear a message of hope in these times, and that's the idea.
Very good.
And we're always learning on the job every day. How can we do this? How can we stay in contact with young people and kids and parents? So it's all been learning every day on the job, but we're super excited about kind of the time we're in, because we're reaching so many more people, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Well done.
And how are you keeping in contact with the youth? I mean, you've got quite a lot of youth. You've got quite a lot of children under your care, really.
Yeah.
How are you managing all that?
Yeah, so it's one of those things yesterday, and just thinking, how can we do this? And we've got a WhatsApp chat with a load of pastors around the UK, and we're just firing ideas away. Everyone's doing it differently, but just celebrating each other, celebrating the reach, celebrating how we're doing it. So one of the ways we're doing it yesterday, we've actually got so many kids and young people on our database. Some who are regulars, some who have come to our Fridays and Sundays and week in, week out. Some who are coming for the week. We've got some who actually aren't part of the church anymore. So we've been quite strategic, and this is young people with who we're kind of want to try and contact. So we sent emails like yesterday. That's Wednesday, and just saying, hey, we want to start some life group chats in WhatsApps. So the idea is they can communicate young people with two life group leaders, and just stay in contact. Maybe share a funny meme or just a YouTube video. Just kind of keep contact and that kind of like community kind of thing. And then from that, we're going to develop into doing some Zooms, which is what we're doing now, but with young people. So just again, that kind of creates some fun in that. So we might do some, I don't know what we'll do, but we'll do some fun stuff in that, and family and faith in those times. So we've been quite strategic in kind of saying, hey, let's try and aim at those young people who we're already in contact, just to kind of get them stronger and developed, and then from there, we'll develop a way of getting new young people into those WhatsApp and life groups, as well as those who maybe parents who want to kind of get back in this time, even though they have not been at C3 for a while, and how we can get them involved as well. So we're learning on the job. This is probably not the easiest and smoothest way of doing it, but we're going to go for it and see what happens. And we're going to adapt and change as we see fit, and hope to stay in contact with our young people and our parents as best as possible. So that's youth-wise what we're doing. Yes.
Yeah, like Josh was saying, we want to have like a holistic approach. So we want to very much keep the families, the parents involved in, kind of encouraging them to engage and with us as a whole. So we are about to set up some WhatsApp groups of our team, so splitting them into age groups, to keep firstly the team connected, supporting each other as well. We didn't want to demobilize them by not meeting physically. Obviously they play a massive part in making that happen on a Sunday when we meet together face to face. So we want to empower them to be able to come and disciple and build relationships with those families now as well. So from these team chats, we are going to basically split up families. We have hundreds, so we're going to be going down the list and FaceTiming families, hopefully, like on a Sunday afternoon, checking in with them, making sure that they've heard about Kids Church online and things like that. And just, spending some time praying for them, praying over them, just even in our day-to-day life as a team, just reassuring them that we are doing that, and we are kind of covering them in prayer. And
wasn't there a school that we work with? Whether we can say where it is, I'll leave that to you, but I know you've been going into it, Josie, and they're using the material as well, is that right?
I think we can say so. They are they're called All Saints School in Newmarket. We've been working closely with them now for a few years. We go in and do assemblies and RE lessons or that kind of thing. And now since we obviously have been in lockdown, we've been kind of sending them videos of encouragement and messages of encouragement. And one of the teachers in particular got in touch with me last week, really quite overwhelmed with the need of these families and these kids at the moment, with the also just that these kids are carrying, they're experiencing this fear very real in them as well, in this situation. And so they actually wrote down, and some of the teachers did this as well, they wrote down their questions, their worries, their concerns, and they sent them over to us. Now there was about 60 messages that we managed to read through last week. And I've got to say, actually, some of them really broke my heart. They were really, yeah, really, really sad to hear, and to hear that kids of such a young age were so concerned and really living this in deep fear and really struggling with that. And so we decided to pull together a panel to answer these questions. So we've got Katie and Elsbeth and Josh kind of bringing some wisdom, bringing some encouragement and hope. We wanted to take time to answer these questions because we believe that these questions were representative of kids everywhere. And so they're big questions, big life questions, big worries and concerns. And we just wanted to take the time. So that is coming out this Sunday for Kids Church Online. And I believe they, as a staff team, tuned into our Church Online service last Sunday. And also the Kids Church Online links have been sent across their school social media as well, so that their families can keep in touch and access some kind of RE material, I guess, as well, if they're doing homeschooling and that kind of stuff. So yeah, such a privilege to be part of that. A few hundred kids at that school. So yeah, just extensive reach. It's going beyond what we could imagine, really.
Does that go out again? Does that go out Sunday morning, this Sunday?
Yeah.
What time will that go out then?
So for early years, it's 8:30 a.m. And then for the junior content, that goes out at 8:45 on Facebook Live. So you can stream on that and chat to us on that. There's lots of activity going on while those are streaming Sunday morning. And then if you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, then you can watch on demand, see all the content that we put up on there.
That's great.
And the same for youth. What are the times and what's the channels that we can find?
Yeah, so we are doing, it's 7 p.m. On Instagram and Facebook. And again, you can watch it on demand as well on our YouTube channel. And then at 7:30 this week, we're gonna go live. So we'll be live on Instagram Live and Facebook Live. Just kind of like have a space with me and Joe to just chat and catch up with young people. Some of these will kind of be in a chat as well. And then hopefully from the week after, it'll be, so it's usually 7 p.m. every week. And then after that we'll do launches and Zooms, but that will be communicated through our channels and through our mail outs and through social media as well. Any updates that happen with that.
So just to be clear, like you were saying before, you're getting some permission from the parents to get the phone numbers and that kind of stuff. That chat, that is a bit more intimate.
Yeah, they're sending that through. So we should be hearing that in the next couple of days, and hopefully. Because we only sent it last night, so hopefully by next week we'll have a good amount of young people to set up these WhatsApp live chats with their leaders.
That's good. It's good to keep them safe. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I don't want you to do the answers on this now because you said you got the panel this Sunday, but you mentioned some of the big questions. I don't know what they were. My suspicion is the kids are asking very honestly the same big questions that many adults are asking as well, but they're just a lot more honest sometimes. So probably be good for the adults to tune into that as well. Can you give us an example, 2 or 3 of the questions that no need to go in the answers because we'll wait till Sunday for that. But the kind of questions that the kids were asking.
Yeah, sure. So a couple of them, very practical things like what happens if our NHS can't cope with this? What's going to happen to people? What happens when my parents lose their jobs? How are we going to survive? And then a couple of quite big questions. What if coronavirus is the end of the world? What if there is never a cure to this and actually it just keeps spiraling out of control?
Yeah.
And then quite a lot of big questions about, what happens if all my coronavirus and me? Lots of questions about death and what that means.
Wow.
So yeah, like you say, questions that probably we're all thinking, but they are just maybe brave enough to be like really, really honest and pour out their worries to us. So yeah, we were so grateful that they shared that with us. We feel very honoured that they trusted us with some of their really deepest fears. So
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. well done, you guys, and what you've been doing. It's amazing. So we moved on a little bit. We were able to film. Did you say you've got 8 weeks in the can?
8 weeks of youth, 10 weeks of kids.
Kids, great. We say this every time. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. What's the plan beyond there then? What are we going to do when we run out of that material?
So we're praying that hopefully the lockdown will eventually kind of loosen, so we can actually go back in and record stuff. So our plan now is to have that. That's our kind of like dream plan. So we're going to try and create content for when we go back and we can kind of start recording again. If not, we haven't thought about it yet. We're gonna. I think, quite a lot would be like we're doing now, like the live kind of like vibe, because we can record stuff on our laptops and stuff like that and send it through. And maybe the same quality, but hopefully same great content, as in kind of teaching and inspiration through that. And we can get other people involved through their laptops and through their phones, and we can all send it and clip it together, that kind of thing. So there are ways around. I fully believe that, and I fully believe that we can create great content and great care for our church and beyond. And I said every day we're learning new ways and new things we can do. I know one example, for example, on Easter Sunday, we are going to do a live video on kids of an Easter egg hunt. I don't know how it's going to go. We're going to go. So I'm going to hide some eggs, and Josie's going to try and find them around the house against the clock. So we're going to see how it goes. It may be chaos, but hopefully there's an idea of fun that we're going to try and have a go.
I think the idea is to just really stay creative in all of this. Like, we are now in our home, kind of, it can be really easy to feel boxed in, like just personally and creatively, as you're trying to think about new things that we can do and pioneer and keep going. And one of my biggest things to concentrate on is actually sustainability. So we've put out some awesome stuff. How can we make this sustainable? Along with kind of gathering physically when we do that again, with multi-site and things like that. So it's going to be like process, systems, all of that kind of stuff. I love a process. And so we're just starting to write the content now. We're starting to just try and get downloads from God. Okay, what word do you want to speak over these kids in week 15? And just stay creative in it, stay inspired.
So
by anything really, by nature, by creation. We've been so blessed with the weather, haven't we, the last couple of days?
Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Even that has helped.
So you're making sure you do your hour of exercise, going for that walk and enjoying nature.
Go for it every day. Every day.
We're seeing the same people, actually. It's funny because we're going at the same time.
2 meters apart, though.
Yeah.
What's been interesting, I think, and this is true in every area, but you said it really well, is the reaching and the shaping, which we've now dropped into care and content, which has always involved discipleship and care and outreach. We're still doing all of that. We're just doing it differently. And you guys are as well, caring for the youth, reaching out beyond. It's oh, Angie's having a cough.
Sorry.
So which feels really good. I know we've had to simplify down care and content, but it's still doing the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, something that was on my mind was in the midst of all of this, it's actually been super exciting to see how the church has taken action in this way, and not just our church, but the church globally, and what percentage that we're kind of taking ground of the internet and online is just so exciting to think about. And I was thinking, God just spoke to me the other day about the passage of when the disciples are out in the boat fishing all night and they don't catch anything, and then Jesus is like, throw your net to the other side, and they just have this like crazy miracle happen of their nets just packed full with fish. And not that we weren't catching people before, because we were, but I think in a way that we didn't even imagine the reach. I mean, even on the very first stream of the kids stuff, we've reached thousands. Like, it's just incredible. I think like God is still alive in this, and he's moving, doing something so good with what we're willing to do, you know, what we're willing to give. And I just think, I think the harvest that can come from it is just, fantastic. It's just so inspiring.
Good. Very good.
We better leave it there, haven't we?
I think we had no fantasy football league, Josh, is there?
No. Yeah, it's not been nice. I might have to play some FIFA later on to kind of get my football fix.
This is lost on me.
Yeah.
I'll be watching Disney Plus.
Great to talk to you guys.
Great to talk to you.
Really
Thank
you.
Tomorrow night, actually, this is for everyone who's watching, we've got Mark Ritchie, who's going to be with us. We're going to interview Mark, find out what's happening in his world. We were hoping to get him in soon to preach, but we're just going to do an interview like this with him, which will be great. And then on Sunday, we're asking everyone, whoever you are, on any platform, just had this email through before, can we really push our social media and do hashtag C3 wherever we are? So it's hashtag, that's it. Yeah, hashtag C3 wherever we are, and that could create lots of traction, because we believe that. We're going to end this show with that tonight.
Love that.
That's who we are. That's who we are. C3 wherever we are. And if anybody else is watching here and you want to give, you can go to our website and you can give online. Give to our Love Your Neighbour campaign, or give your regular tithes and offerings. You're part of C3. That really help us to keep things going, to be able to keep getting stuff out online, and to be able to do all the care in the community. So don't forget to donate the c3.uk.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks, Josh and Josie. We love you. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
God bless you. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Right, see
Bye.
you.
Bye.
And we always end this with what, Angie?
We are C3 wherever we are.